Donnie Smith was a local pitching hero with the Winnipeg Goldeyes. He also had to win a very major battle that almost ended his life 3 years ago. Don, you pitched for 8 seasons with the Goldeyes. You set an all-time league record for appearances in long relief, short relief, setup guy, and closer. How you performed, of course, led to the retirement of your number with the Goldeyes, number 21. So take another bow right now for your achievements.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you.
You feel pretty good about those days?
It's, reflecting back on those years, it went by so quickly, but it's one of those things you'll cherish forever, absolutely.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about the sports community being shocked as it was to learn in 2009 that you were suffering from a bacterial infection in your heart. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with endocrinitis, which latched onto a aortic valve, which was actually a bicuspid valve, which it should have been a tricuspid. So it was more prone to being infected. The infection got so bad that they needed to replace the valve and put a mechanical one in. There were some complications with some other genetic difficulties in regards to my AV node and an extra current that was in my heart. So things were kind of touch and go there for a little while. I'm very fortunate that I was at St. Boniface Hospital, and I had outstanding cardiologists and a heart surgeon, and the nursing staff there helped me be here today. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for them,
you had bypass surgery a little bit later as a result of that.
Yeah, the open heart surgery replaced the valve, and so I'm very fortunate to be here today.
Let's go back on your pitching career, Don. You developed a very wicked slider, as I remember it, with Winnipeg's Legion 141, or you may have got it in college at Mayville State and Valley City State. Did you have professional aspirations at that point in your career?
I always had aspirations as a young ball player. I know playing at the kind of the grassroots level, it was always a chance to maybe get to a collegiate level. And then once I established that, or had an opportunity to play at the collegiate level, it was now a goal for me to play at the professional level. And I was very fortunate the way it kind of happened for myself. I was never scouted to the point where I was drafted, but Hal Lanier, who was managing at the time with Winnipeg Goldeyes, came to a Red Boyne game when I was playing with the Legion 141 veterans, along with Scott Nealis, who was the first base coach at the time. And they were happy with what they saw in a playoff game that was against the St. Boniface Legionnaires. And he approached me after the game and gave me the opportunity to decide if I'd like to play at that level. And I thought, what the heck, why not? I wasn't sure if I was capable of doing it, but very fortunate with the timing and the scenario, and looking back on it right now, I couldn't thank him enough for that.
Who helped you to develop that particular pitch, the slider?
The slider just kind of came around, as a young youth. My arm was fairly strong, and then trying to work on secondary pitches as an out pitch, I started to develop a bit of a curveball, and then I just started to try to throw the curveball a little bit more harder, and it carried over into a slurve almost in between, and then I kind of got a better feel for what I wanted to do in regards to a slider, and ever since I kind of got that good feel for it, that was basically my bread and butter pitch for a good chunk of my career.
You were pitching in the Red Boyne Senior League when the Goldeyes invited you up in August of 1998, and you made a very impressive debut, as we remember, in Fargo that night.
Yeah, I was the nerves were there for sure. Mm-hmm. I know I remember the first time getting out there, and my knees were kind of buckling a little bit. I was waiting for the balk to be called, kind of thing, because I thought I was moving too much on the mound, but it was mostly my nerves that kind of overtook that. I've never really experienced that at any kind of baseball level. So it was a bit of an eye-opener for me, but once I kind of got settled down, it was a good night.
Yeah,
great experience.
Really got you going well. Yeah. In your Goldeye career, I know a very big achievement for you came in Game 4 of a Northern League final against Fargo. Facing elimination, you pitched 4 shutout innings to lift the Goldeyes to the win in that game, and that gave the team the chance to clinch the series in Game 5 back here in Winnipeg. Remember?
Yeah, it was a big outing for me. That's one of the ones that will stand out forever. Came in a tight scenario, got the out, and we just kind of kept going. With me, usually I was kind of a short relief guy, and it was kind of, playoffs, your expectation is to fulfill any kind of role, and they threw me there earlier in the game than usual, but I was more than happy to help out, and we ended up winning that game and bringing it back to Winnipeg and eventually winning that series also.
How did the crowd treat you in Fargo that night?
Well, the nice thing about playing in Fargo is that you have a lot of local fans that travel to Fargo. It's only about a 3.5-4 hour drive, so 25% were happy, the rest were not.
Former Goldeye manager Hal Lanier that you talked about, and Rick Forney, who was your pitching coach, both voiced some very large praise for your efforts and for your character. Looking back, that must have made you feel pretty good what they said about you.
Absolutely. Those are two individuals that I found a lot of respect for. They gave me the opportunity to play, not for 1 or 2 seasons, but they had the gut feeling that I was able to play at that level for that length of time, and it was an awesome opportunity to play under Hal Lanier, who was manager of the year back in the 80s, and Rick Forney, who was a former teammate, pitching coach, and then a manager. And it was a great experience for me. I couldn't have asked for a better scenario.
Do you still follow the pursuit of the Goldeyes?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm one of the die-hard fans now that kind of listens to Paul Edmonds every evening on the radio. I don't have as much time as I would like to go to the games, but I try my best to make it out to the ballpark as much as I can.
Donnie, what have you seen by way of change in the game of baseball in Manitoba over the years?
Personally, I think the numbers have gone down within the last probably 10 years. Now that I'm involved again at the coaching level, to me it feels like the numbers at the grassroots level are starting to grow again. I would like to see that continue. I guess the hardest thing with baseball is our weather conditions. More and more kids are kind of getting streamlined into 1 or 2 sports specifically, and they kind of extend their seasons that way. I think the baseball, we've got a lot of individuals in Manitoba that have a good background in regards to the game itself and coaching and kind of passing it on. So I would like to see more kids obviously be involved with baseball. I think it's a wonderful sport in so many different areas, but I think it's slowly kind of making a turnaround.
It's been very satisfying for Donnie Smith.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a big part of my life.
And what does it mean to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame?
It's a huge honor. You know, if you look at all the other inductees, guys that I've played with, played against, obviously former inductees at earlier generations, it's a huge honor to be alongside a lot of those guys.
Donnie Smith, Winnipeg's gift to the Winnipeg Goldeyes, and a very deserving member of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame.